Hello again, and how are you? Now, did you notice at the end of that last episode in That's Life that Anne said to Sharon, why don't we go to the cinema? How about going to the cinema? Now, that is a suggestion in English, and that's what I want to study with you now, because there are 3 different ways of making suggestions in English. Now, imagine that you say to me, I'm bored. I am so bored. I can say to you, 1, well, why don't we go to the cinema? Why don't we go to the cinema? That's one way of making a suggestion. The second way is, how about going to the cinema? How about going to the cinema? And the third way is, what about going to the cinema? So 3 possibilities. Why don't we go? How about going? What about going? Now you try. I say to you, oh God, I'm so tired. Make some suggestions. Yeah. Why don't you rest? How about taking a nap, which is a short rest? Very good. Next, I say, I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. What do you say? Obvious, yeah? Why don't you eat something? Why don't you eat something? How about having a banana, for example? All right, next one. I'm free this weekend. I'm free this weekend. Suggestions. Why don't we go to the sea? Or how about inviting some friends? So those are the different ways of making suggestions, and I'd like to look at those with you now on the screen. Okay? So let's go to the screen and see those written, because they're very, very useful and important when you're socializing with friends. So the first one is, why don't we, or why don't you? Why don't we go to a show? Why don't you take a rest? Why don't we take a holiday? And why don't you come with me? All right, number 1. Number 2, how about plus the verb plus ing? You notice that? How about doing something? And it's the same with what about, the same construction. What about doing? So it's a gerund form. The examples are, how about eating in an Italian restaurant? Or how about inviting Jack? That's Sharon's idea. Or what about going to the seaside? Or what about seeing a film? Okay? So 3 ways. Why don't we go? What about going? How about going? So remember, you'll find those very useful when you're socializing with your friends. Now let's go back to our friends and see Jack and Peter, who are talking about his audition. And then afterwards, I want to tell you some other things about the verb can. All right? So see you later. Bye.